Okay.
Last we left off, our group of newfound companions here in the city of Dinas Undad were in the middle of the day's Beeltana celebration after hearing a speech given by the king of the city, as well as the king and queen of Beothlan, the elven capital to the north. Also happen to be gods. They introduced their twin daughters, Caradwyn and Rhiannon, who would be staying on in Dinas Undad for some time. After these speeches, it was noticed by Kyra and Ewan and Omenda that their friends, Kyle just forgot how to speak for about 2 seconds. Hold on a sec. That their friends, Ophalon and Juniper, were missing. Taking some time to look about for them, the group ended up at a strange magical shop run by some mimics, including one very talkative one by the name of Smiley. They got some information out of Smiley as well as a scroll. They came to find out that Smiley had a run-in with this blue-haired elven individual that had been popping up. Had apparently had deals with Gertrude over at the or Mildred over at the apothecary, and as well as somebody that you all had seen, or at least a couple of you had seen on your way down to the city. Proceeding forward, you met up again with Ewan, who informed all of you that they had seen Juniper and Ophalon up at the castle. And so, together, all of you headed up that way, catching sight from the top of the wall of a shock of very red hair disappearing into a garden. You followed Juniper and Ophalon into a strange maze. Not a strange maze, but just a maze on the side of the castle, and heard strange conversation from them that didn't quite make much sense. But that's because the real Ophalon and Juniper have been spending the past several hours captive in some strange webbing somewhere else. Of course, none of you know that. And last you saw, your companions, Ophalon and Juniper, were rushing at the Lady of Arcane Knowledge, Caradwyn, in the middle of this hedge maze. And that's where we left off. And I'm going to ask everybody to roll initiative.
Woo-wee.
24 for me.
16 for me.
16 for Juniper.
That's dirt twant.
Dirt twant.
What did Juniper get?
16.
And what did Omenda get?
16.
What are each of your... I mean, I think it'll do it automatically, but we'll find out. Here.
On the counter builder, it will, yeah.
Nope. Didn't do it.
This does them alphabetically, I think.
What's the,
Oh, really?
Which one of you has the higher dexterity? I have to assume it's Omenda.
Probably.
Yeah, mine's 18.
Yeah, mine's only a 15.
Okay. So we'll make Omenda's a 17. There we go.
I don't know that. I'll have to pay attention to that, because I thought I did on my last one. Because you guys rolled the same on one of my encounters last time.
So, for this encounter, Travis and Caitlin, you will be portraying your characters, although they are not you. Therefore, but they will fight like you, and whatever you would do in this situation. So let's go ahead and use your character sheets and mark down any spells and any health and any of that stuff. And then at the end of this combat, before we switch back to the real use, we'll do a long rest for you guys. So that way your character sheet switches back to how it's supposed to be. So, whoops.
We didn't get a surprise round, did we?
No, you did not. The two of you, or the two, Kyra, or I know how to talk.
I believe me.
Ophalon and Juniper rush forward to a figure that is coming around a corner in this hedge maze. The top of the initiative from inside of the hedges is Kyra. Kyra, what are you doing?
I am trying to ensnaring strike my people that are going to attack Caradwen.
Alrighty.
Would be so kind.
Who are you sending out your, or who are you shooting at? Ewan, or Owen, Ophalon, or
Juniper.
Juniper. There we go. Man.
Roll to attack, I'm guessing.
Oh shit! Just let my camera on.
No mystery, no whimsy. Guys,
Am I rolling to attack, God?
If you're going after Juniper, go ahead and roll to attack.
$25?
25 is probably gonna hit.
And
Yeah. That is pretty much double my armor class right there.
And now you need to make a strength save. That's why I
Okay.
targeted you.
Yeah, that's a +0 to that.
+0.
Huh, that's 12.
Ha! It fails! It fails!
Nice.
Yes! Finally! I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
I haven't gotten it to work yet.
Go ahead and roll damage.
It's a d6 and plus my, yeah.
Plus the damage that the bow already does.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding. I need to turn up the stream. I can't hear it enough.
Yeah, 14 points of damage, and you are restrained, and I will holler out to Caradwen and just say, they're imposters!
Okay.
Ow.
Yeah, you send this out, it thuds into Juniper, and go ahead and describe what your ensnaring strike looks like.
As the arrow sinks into Juniper's side, thorns spiral out of it like a net and wrap around her and sink into the ground, pulling her down, arms backwards to the ground. And it blossoms, blackberry blossoms.
Gotta love that. Alright, is that the end of your turn, Kyra?
Yes, I don't have 2 attacks.
Okay. Next up in the initiative, it is Ewan.
Ewan, crouching from his position in the hedges, is going to use his bonus action, and you'll hear a little rumble of thunder, and there's a burst of electricity right in front of Ophalon. Ophalon, you take 2 points of lightning damage as I land in a burst of electricity, and I'm gonna try to punch you in the face.
You can certainly try.
I can certainly try.
So, you said 2 points?
2 points, yeah, it's my proficiency
Two
bonus.
points. I gotta get my Omanda voice. Hold on.
All right, I rolled really low, but I'm gonna use a luck point, so I can reroll that. That's a lot better. What's your AC, big guy?
16.
Oh, awesome! I rolled a 21. I don't deal very much damage though, so you know it's fine.
Crack, crack.
7 points of damage.
Bing, bang, boom.
Alright.
Right to the schnoz, and I'll just
Ow!
draw his fist
Schnoz.
back. And he just kind of like does the little nose snuff thing, and he just keeps his hands up.
I can do this all day.
Queensberry rules bullshit.
All right. At the end of Ewan's turn, Omenda, you are
All right.
still down in the bushes as well. Juniper is ensnared, and
Yes.
Ewan is blocking Ophalon's way. What are you going to do?
And how far is the Ophalon group?
No more than about 10, 15 feet from you.
Okay. Would you say that I'd be able to like sneak up behind Ophalon?
In this kind of chaos of what's happening, and considering there's something happening on the other side of him, I will allow you to make a stealth check at advantage.
Cool.
And Ophalon, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'm good at those.
Damn, I rolled pretty ass on both.
I rolled a natural 20.
Ooh, rough for Omenda. Despite
what was that? Yeah. there you go.
despite the kind of chaos of what's going on, as Ophalon kind of braces himself after getting socked by Ewan, you see he kind of like lifts his head in the air and sniffs the air, and his head turns and he spots you, Omenda. You will
Okay.
not be considered hidden.
Okay. I'll just run up and as he's like in motions of fighting, I'll kind of like grab his arm and I'll just say, I preferred you as the silly one. And I'm gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on Ophalon.
Ooh. What kind of save is that?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so Ophalon's definitely not good necessarily with those. This is a magical effect, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So I have advantage. Let's see. It's a 7. That's not great.
Haters are fun little guys.
That's a 17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
My saves a
17.
14.
So you save. You go up and you try to cast this spell, Omenda, and this this version of Ophalon that's here just kind of kicks out at you with its goat-like leg, interrupting the spell before you get a chance to finish it. No effect.
Dang. I don't think I have any bonus action that I can really do. Here's what I'll do. As my bonus action, I will go ahead and play a little like I'll just blare out into like my glower, and I'll give Ewan bardic inspiration.
Okay,
And that'll be it.
you got it. All right. It's going to be Juniper's turn. Juniper, at the start of your turn, you're going to take 1d6 piercing damage from the thorns that are restraining you. Kyra, go ahead and roll that.
6.
6 points of damage to Juniper. And Juniper, you are restrained by this spell. The restrained effect means your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saves. You can use your action to attempt to make a strength check to break out, but you also could just cast spells. So you're mostly just rooted in place. It doesn't really prevent you from taking actions. It just makes it harder for you to do some stuff.
Okay. How much damage did I take?
6.
6.
Ouch. Okay. Is it too late for Juniper to try and convince them that she is actually the actual Juniper?
Probably.
It's probably a little too late.
Who knows?
I will say, because I got to think about on my end what this being would be doing right now. You know what? Go ahead, if you would like to attempt to a persuasion or check or a deception check here, I will let you, but it will be at disadvantage. Considering they did hear both of you plotting to fully attack Caradwin in the maze.
Fair. Alright, let's... nice. I'm gonna go for the persuasion.
Okay. You can go ahead. What do you say?
She just kind of angles her head up at Kira, and she's taken quite a bit of damage, so the tears are real.
Yeah, for sure.
Tears coming down her eyes. Kyra, why? You know me. Why? Please let me go. Go.
Go ahead and roll persuasion at disadvantage. Kyra, you can make a flat insight roll.
Nope, that fails. That's a nat 1.
Rough. I admire you for trying, though.
That was a 24.
Super fail.
I was going to help, but I can't help that.
Okay.
Alright.
It's your just using your voice. I won't necessarily consider that your action for this if you still want to try something.
She's gonna use her fate presence.
Okay.
And try to charm everybody within a 10-foot cube of her.
Love that. So at this point, that would be, based on where people are, that's going to be Ewan and Omenda. Kyra is still a little ways back because she fired an arrow. So Ewan and Omenda need to make what kind of save?
Wisdom saving throw,
Wisdom
DC
save.
15.
And if it's a charm effect, Ewan has advantage.
Ewan does have. I rolled 13 and a 4, so 18.
And Omenda?
Wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
God, I'm not gonna roll that one anymore. 5.
Oof. Omenda, you are charmed by Juniper in this situation. Is there any other effects of that, Juniper, or
Nope, just the charmed effect.
charmed effect? Okay.
Until the end of my next turn.
Okay. So for the moment, Omenda, you this is your ally Juniper. What are you guys doing? This is stupid. Why would you be fighting her? That doesn't make any sense. You need to protect her. You need to get her out of these snares. Is that the end of your turn, Juniper?
Yeah, all in my turn there.
Okay. At the end of Juniper's turn, it is Ophalon's turn. Ophalon, Ewan is in front of you. Omenda is behind you, and a bewildered-looking woman has just stepped out from the corner up ahead, and that is your target.
So Amanda is behind me and enchanted.
Yes.
And Ewan's in front of me. I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna look into Ewan's eyes, and I'm gonna say, "Yeah, dude, what's going on? You just heard what Juniper said. What are you doing?" And I'm gonna cast Friends.
Ooh. So you can go ahead and make a persuasion or a deception check at advantage. And because of how this is going, I'm going to say this is just going to give you a straight roll, because I did give Juniper disadvantage on her attempt at persuasion/deception. So Ewan, you can go ahead and make an insight check. Ophalon, your check is at just a straight roll.
So deceptions. That's an 18 plus 3 for 21.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. Mine's a 17 plus 7 for 24.
Ooh.
Oof.
Can I silvery barbs that?
You can silvery barbs that.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and silvery barbs that. I can't believe you hit me, man. I thought we were friends.
Oh no. Oh no, I rolled a 12. Oh no, I'm gonna use another luck point though and choose the 17 again.
Motherfucker.
No, if you use the luck point, you have to roll.
Oh, I'll roll again. I still get to choose any of those.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20 for 27.
Oh, well, there you go.
Kyra and Ewan, the only
I
two
watched you
sane people.
stab somebody. You're a terrible liar. Oh, but perhaps you didn't recognize me. And I give him a little wink.
That's really funny, and I need to make a note down for that. Perfect. So that's your action, because you did cast a spell.
Yeah. And Ophalon say, "That's how it's gonna be," and I'm going to attempt to jump over Ewan
Ooh, yeah,
with a mirthful leap
go for it.
and get.
Do I get to
past
punch him in the ankles?
In the
Well, we'll
ankles.
see.
So it's a D8.
Well, I punch him in the ankles,
You are charmed at the moment.
but not against.
It's true.
Man.
You aren't necessarily charmed against him. So we'll see what goes on here.
So that's an additional 7 feet.
An additional 7 feet straight up in the air.
Yes.
Boing. Yeah, I'm gonna say you watch as Ophalon just kicks these goat-like legs down behind him and jumps up over you. I'm gonna have you can absolutely make an attack of opportunity. Omenda, go ahead and just make for me a charisma saving throw.
Christmas saving throw.
Yep.
All right. Pretty good those. I'm using a different die. Ooh, that's a 19.
A 19. You are charmed by Juniper, but this Ophalon is still causing you problems. You can go ahead and make an attack of opportunity as well.
Nice.
22 for 7 more points of damage.
You know what? He's gonna get it with my crossbow, man.
As you make the leap, Ewan
Opportunity
is like
attack can only be a physical attack. It has
Oh,
to be
you're
your
right.
sword,
Okay.
yeah.
just
That's
like
okay.
chops down onto your knee as you sail up past, and you just kind of clip it real hard.
16.
That matches.
That
Okay.
So that hits. Go ahead and roll that damage.
To be clear, when we started
That
the
is-
session, I didn't say who was going to get their ass kicked.
6 damage.
6
Cool.
damage. damage.
With a short sword, slashing.
You guys just had bad initiative luck, really.
Yeah.
Or piercing, rather. Short sword.
So I make it. Do I make it up and over Ewan at least?
You do. You get up and over, and you can run forward.
So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to run forward. How far is Caradwin?
Caradwin is about another 15 feet beyond. She's just come around the corner.
So I'm going to run up to her, run towards her.
Yep.
So I did. Friends was my action. Silvery Barbs was my reaction.
Correct.
Move.
Correct.
I'm going to use my bonus action to use Second Wind
Okay.
to regain some of the health I've lost because I've kind of taken a few nasty hits.
Well,
This is the 10. Yep, that's the 10.
You are a large man.
The 10 is the one that looks like 2 stars.
yeah.
Ooh.
That's I'm assuming 0 would be 10, so I'm going to regain 12 health.
There you go.
Oh. And then when I make it to Caradwin, I'm going to use my special action. Or is that yes, special action. To use action surge.
Yes, you are.
And I'm going to attack her with my double-bladed scimitar.
You got it. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Wild series of events that just happened.
Yeah, that was
That's a 21.
A
Can
20.
will I be able to silvery barbs him? Oh no, I attacked with opportunity.
Yes, you did
Dang.
attack.
That was your reaction.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about it.
What was the to hit roll on that?
I was 21.
21. I am going to make a roll here to see if Caradwin is too surprised to bring up a shield spell. She's not. So a barrier of force pops in front of her, and your first attack, or your attack here does not succeed.
Fair enough. And that, after 5 things, will be my turn.
Okay. At the end of Ophalon's turn, the lady Caradwin, who's standing there and just staring at you and then looking back at the rest of whatever the fuck is going on here, is just like, well, this is strange. Ophalon, I'm going to have you go ahead and make for me... Where is the spell? There it is.
Still don't have Vicious Mockery in my sheet correctly.
I need to get. I need to have you make for me a Wisdom saving throw.
Which I can do. An advantage, yes.
How's the bean?
She's fine. Barely even twitched.
Her nose isn't covered.
Okay, good. That's better than the 1. So that's a... it was a Wisdom save, you said?
Yes.
15.
15. That is going to just beat the DC as you feel, well, the person you're portraying at this moment feels a, like, shift of something around them. You beat it with the save, but also something natural shrugs it off. And her spell does not succeed. That is going to bring us back to the top of the initiative and Kyra.
all right. I will attempt to get somehow. What spells do I have? Can I get in between Ophalon and Lady Caradwin?
Can you get in between Ophalon and Lady Caradwin? Probably not in between them. You can get to one side or the other, but
Okay.
not directly in between them.
Well, I know I can't ensnaring strike Ophalon. For a fact. He'll just jump out of it. I will, I'll try to ensnare him. Why not? I'll give it a shot.
Okay. This is going to drop your concentration on the one on June.
Oh, right. It's a concentration, isn't it?
It is a concentration.
Yeah. Can't just have 8 ensnared folk just,
Valid. I will instead, go up to, Juniper and, pull my, my dagger from my boot, and I will place it against her throat, and I will just say, "Where is my friend? And if you don't start telling the truth, I'm gonna rip your throat out." I would like to make an intimidation check.
Sure. You can make an intimidation check.
you doing that to our oath?
No, I'm doing it to Juniper.
Oh, to Juniper. That's correct. I forgot. You were like, yeah. Cool.
It's a 19.
19. Yeah. You make that intimidation check. Considering this is more on my end than it is on Caitlin's end, I'm going to say you don't see much in the way of fear in the eyes of this person looking at you.
Alright, have it your way. I've skinned worse before. I will, are you considering that an action or no?
No, that's not an action.
I will, use my bonus action to Hexblade Curse, and then, whack her over the head with my, my stick. My bow.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make that attack.
$23?
That's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Dang.
And that is... six. So 6 damage.
6 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
And now I have, I score a critical on 19 or 20, and I have, bonus to damage rolls, a +2.
Correct. Alright. Is that the end of your turn, Kyra?
Yeah.
Perfect. Ewan, it's your go. Ophalon just jumped over you.
He did
ran
do
up
that.
and tried to attack the Lady Caradwin.
I'm gonna sprint up behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And can I try to make a cold shot?
Sure.
I'd like to knee him in the testicles as hard as elvenly possible.
Ooh. Rough. Go ahead. I'm going to, because it's a called shot, I'm going to give just a +2 to AC.
All right.
So you got to beat an 18.
All right. Omenda, what's your
It's a, let's say, I'm looking. I'll give 1 second.
4, right?
I will check for you. It is actually a D6.
6.
Indeedy.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? I rolled really low, so I'm gonna use another luck point.
Okay.
Oh, it's on the young lad.
Yeah, there's a lot of clovers already growing out of this hair. That's better. Speed an 18.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled a 15 on the die for 21.
21. Yeah.
21.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll unarmed strike damage. And Ophalon, just for shits and giggles, make me a con save.
See if you
6
not
points
good
of
though.
damage.
6 points of damage.
Prostrates.
That's 9.
That's a 9. Yeah, Ophalon, you're this being just gets this kind of look on its face, and is considered stunned for the until the start of Ewan's next turn.
How much damage was that again?
6. And for my bonus action, I'd like to hit him again.
Go for it.
You don't have to use your bonus action.
But I can. He's
Yeah,
stunned,
yeah.
so I get advantage, right?
Bing, bang, boom.
Correct.
Ooh, 16.
That just hits.
Yeah. So after he just like you just feel 2 hands on your shoulders, and a lot of pain.
white hot paint.
I guess I crack him in the
And then you
face
go
again.
blind for but a moment.
Got it.
For another 6 points of damage.
For another 6 points of damage to Ophalon.
And with that, can I interpose myself between Caradwin and Ophalon?
Hmm.
If the answer is no, that's okay.
I think he is still occupying the space.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's my business. That's my turn.
All right. Omenda, it's your go. Kyra just smacked the shit out of Juniper, who's tied up in thorns. Juniper shouldn't be tied up in thorns, and Kyra shouldn't be hitting her in the face.
Yeah, he's so conflicted because there's that, and then there's a man getting kicked in the nuts across the way.
Speed.
Um,
I need him.
Because I
Cornball
wonder.
Raquel.
I know I'm charmed and I need to go. That's like what I would need to do is deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyra just fucking brained Juniper almost. That's
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah, Juniper, the Juniper doppelganger is not doing so great right now.
Yeah.
Good. That's what you get for pretending to be my friend.
Okay. Damn. I don't know what to do. Okay. Omenda is going to, seeing as people are getting hit and stuff. Let me see. I don't know if I can do this. I'm gonna like turn towards Kyra, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you need to stop that. We need to all just get out of here." And I'm gonna shoot my hand crossbow at Kyra.
You got it.
I can't catch arrows. Unlike Ewan can.
Simply,
It
I
would be
can do that.
really cool if I could catch it out of the
Can you
way and
catch a
fire
bolt?
it back.
Simply dodge.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
That's gonna be a 19.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Don't
it's gonna
hit.
be. Does it automatically choose my dexterity over my strength
Yeah.
in here?
On D&D
Okay.
Beyond, yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. Oh, I
Oh,
dropped
range
it.
stuff
Oh, but I'll
is
take
shit.
it because it's a 6 plus 4. That's gonna be 10.
10 points of damage to Kyra
Yep.
as this bolt just thuds into your shoulder.
Ow! Omenda!
Well, we need to get out of here. And I would like to use my bonus action to go into my bag
Mm.
and pull out the set of manacles that I have.
Yeah.
and then yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. Cause what I want to do is I want to run towards Ophalon and see if I can manacle him next turn. But
Okay.
I don't know what the boy
For
will
sure.
do. Just leave it at that.
All right. At the end of Omenda's turn, it is Juniper's go. Juniper, you are still ensnared. You can use your you can use an action to try and break out, or you can do any magic you'd like to do to attempt to break out, or whatever else you'd like to attempt to do.
Oh, do I have to take more damage?
Yes, you are going to take 1d6 of damage at the start of the turn. I'll go ahead and roll that.
1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how many d6 you roll.
Okay, what does no good dirty doppelganger want to do?
There's like a little side satchel he pulled the manacles out of. He's ready to clamp up somebody.
Ready to throw hands.
I have an out for us. A possible out.
What are you talking about? You don't believe our story.
She's gonna attempt to cast Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Kyra? Yeah.
At Kyra? Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have disadvantage on the attack, but go for it.
The king of the Highlands. Emo over
11.
there just rocking the
I'm
boat.
pretty sure an 11 doesn't hit.
That does not hit. I'm
11
sorry.
does not hit. What level are you guys? You're level 4.
I just picture Kyra turns to we're level
we're
3.
level
Or no,
3.
you're level
Yeah.
3. You're level 3.
Kyra turns to Amanda. Ow! And then just a beam of fucking light goes past. See?
Well, see, I imagine for the doppelganger, the Eldritch Blast, like the verbal component, sounds like Claudia from the Dragon Prince.
Rising
Am I still charmed after her turn?
No, at the end of her
Okay.
turn, I believe the charm effect comes to an end.
The end of my next turn, and that's the end of my next turn.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Ophalon, that's your go.
Okay, so
Is he still stunned?
Man has been nutballed.
He is still stunned, unfortunately. But he's going to come out. He doesn't have to roll to come out of it. He's going to come out of it at the start of Ewan's next turn. So,
What does the stun
unfortunate-
condition do?
he can't take actions or reactions.
He just got kicked in the fucking balls.
He just got kicked in the fucking balls.
That's like Mach 6.
Basically
Nausea.
incapacitated
So
for a turn.
unfortunately, that is going to bring us past the Ophalon doppelganger's turn and bring us back to Kyra.
Doppelgangnam style.
Kyra looks at the doppelganger of Juniper and just, you're not making it very convincing. And then I will turn around and I will shoot at Ophalon the back of his head.
Got it.
Oh my god! In the back of the man's head.
kill shot. It's a kill shot.
Kill shot.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Before Kyra's turn.
Yeah, Caradwin, right?
Caradwin gets to go. Caradwin, looking around, is going to kind of take stock of. Actually, she's going to roll to see if she kind of can tell what's happening here. Caradwin is going to
I hate getting stuff stuck between my teeth.
Travis.
I love popcorn, but I hate when it gets in my teeth. And I love popcorn.
I hate it worse when the kernels get stuck to the back of your throat. What is happening?
We're just jamming.
Can't move too much because I'm trying not to wobble.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for participating anyway, Travis. We appreciate you.
I know it'll be a very long while, but I'm excited for her to be old enough to play D&D.
Okay. Caradwin, Lady Caradwin is going to look around, and she's going to reach down and dip just the tips of her fingers into her cauldron, and she's going to flick that out, and it's going to become a kind of gray beam of acid that streaks through the air. She's going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew. Ophalon and Dear Juniper, both of you go ahead and make for me dexterity saves. Actually, I think because you're ensnared.
This is a spell, correct?
Yeah, do you automatically fail then when you're
This is a
restrained?
spell. I think you automatically fail when you're restrained.
Cool.
Do I still need to make the save?
You do, yes, Ophalon. You're not ensnared.
He's stunned though.
No, no.
Oh, you don't auto fail, Juniper. You just have disadvantage. So go ahead and still make the dexterity save.
He is stunned until the top of my turn, you said, right?
Oh, he is stunned until the top of your turn.
Oh, it fails strength and dexterity saving throws only.
And do I roll?
You don't roll. You fail.
Okay.
But I can roll at disadvantage.
Thank
You
you for
roll
finally
at
getting there.
disadvantage. Yep.
Cool.
Pain.
I got a 15.
A 15.
We visit pain upon ye to this day.
On 15, unfortunately, is not going to do it.
Guys,
both
they're
of
losing because
you-
they're doppelgangers. It's because they're not the real you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Both of you are going to take 5 points of acid damage, and you will take more damage at the start of each of your turns as the acid continues to work on you. Then the Lady Caradwin is going to snap her fingers and teleport, so she is standing on top of the hedges, kind of out of the way of everything. Now it is Kyra's turn.
Nice.
Okay. Instead of firing an arrow, can I steal the manacles from Ominda and put them on Ophalon?
Well, it depends.
Auto fail.
You will auto fail. You will. I mean, you don't have to say that still. You could just say.
I think that's just an object in
Yeah, I
general.
can just
Yeah.
give him to her. Yeah, she can
Just-
take him.
Ominda,
Okay, bye.
give me me the manacles.
He pulls them out.
Go ahead and
Catch him.
you can run on up.
Can I do a sneaky so that he doesn't notice that I do
Well,
it?
he's
Oh, he's
stunned.
also stunned, so I could just grab him
Yes.
and manacle him.
He is
It's
stunned.
gonna work perfect,
Um,
dude.
So hold on 2 seconds.
That's why you go for the nuts, guys.
No
honor in the way Ewan fights. There's no honor in the way he fights.
It's guerrilla warfare.
Strength and dexterity. So,
Below the belt fighting,
because
literally.
none of this falls under the stuff that stunned is going to really affect all that much. So what I'm going to say is, Kyra, you can run up and I'm gonna make this a grapple check.
Mm.
But because he's stunned, Ophalon has disadvantage on the athletics check. So, Kyra, you can make an athletics check. Ophalon, you can make athletics or acrobatics, whatever's higher, but you have disadvantage.
Okay, so that's either a 16 or I rolled 2 16s, so that's a 21.
Dang.
Athletics.
Dang it.
Rough.
I got a 19
A 19.
with no modifier.
Damn.
Yeah, you go up, and this stunned Ophalon he's just still too strong to let you pull his arms behind his back to get the manacles clicked into place.
Would I be able to silvery barbs our boy?
That you could silvery barbs, yes.
Poggers?
Yeah. I've been looking for opportunities to silvery barb something.
Also, you guys that use silvery barbs, don't forget that when you use silvery barbs, you get to give advantage to somebody's next roll.
Including yourself.
And that could be for yourself. So
I will take the advantage for myself. Okay. I got some ballsy options.
Go ahead, Mr. Ophalon, and roll one more dice.
Sorry.
I love this game that we play.
That's a 3.
Yes!
3.
Plus 5 for
And yes.
8.
Kyra, you managed to just with Omenda's help, you managed to get the manacles clipped into place.
Oh yeah, dude.
Is that considered my action?
That would be your action.
Okay. I was gonna be like, can I just push him over now?
Oh, dude, this is gonna go so well.
All right. I will. That's what I'll do.
Okay. It's Ewan's turn. However, at the moment, both of these individuals are kind of solidified in place. The Kyra, you know that your ensnaring strike only lasts for about a minute on Juniper, so she will need to be restrained in a better way. But for the moment, both of them are restrained.
Perfect. That's the one shooting lasers right now. I need him in the balls, and he's got manacles on. I'm not too worried about Ophalon right now.
There is laser lady over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go deal with laser lady. I think that's a little bit more important. I think I'm gonna go punch her in the forehead.
Okay.
Oh God.
Or actually the back of the head. I'm not stupid.
Hit him with that Cobra Kai, the ice.
All right. What is there any modification for her being restrained?
You have advantage on your attack roll.
Let's check.
Advantage.
Okay. 19.
Definitely.
6 points of damage.
You go ahead and swing out.
Non-lethal if it matters.
So Doppelganger Juniper is at 0 HP.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter because you swing your fist and it collides with this thing's jaw, and you watch as the form shifts slightly. The red hair like flickers, and you see white underneath it. You see white eyes and pale skin before it tries to reassert the shape before looking at you directly, Ewan, and saying, "We'll be back," and turning into a literal shadow flat along the ground and just dispersing.
Just Junipers?
Just Junipers.
Well,
We caught one.
can I use my bonus action or the rest of my movement, run back over to Ophalon and use my bonus action to like rip his weapon out of his hands?
His hands
try
are
to.
bound.
Yeah.
You don't need to. His hands are bound.
All right.
I'm gonna say that's going to bring us to the end of our combat in this instance. So let me get some music switched over here. Let's see.
Ooh. What the heck?
What's up, man?
D&D Beyond crashed on me, and now it's not loading.
Try to reopen the whole window.
Let's see. What do we want? Yeah, we'll just go. We'll just do that. Kind of let that play in the background. The Ophalon doppelganger is manacled. You guys force him to the ground. Omenda.
If it's all right if I do, I would like to run up in front of our group, and I would like to try to persuade who's it, Lady Caradwin. And I'm gonna go ahead and say,
Yes, Caitlin.
I will be right back. I need to restart my computer.
Okay, that's fine.
and I'm gonna go ahead and say, apologies there, madam. Me and my friends seem to have a bit of an issue here.
No, they're not our friends.
We haven't figured out. We're just gonna go ahead and get out of here if you don't mind. And I would use my mantle of inspiration to give all of my friends 5 temporary HP, and we can run expeditiously if we wish.
Okay. The Lady Caradwin, who is sat atop the shrubbery here, looking down at you all, this little cauldron floating next to her, spitting this kind of silver magic into the air, is going to sort of gracefully just step off of the hedge and just descend slowly, touching down lightly on the ground here, and look at all of you and say, well, this certainly wasn't what I was expecting today. Hello.
We are very sorry, Lady Caradwin. We have been having an issue, and have caught the culprit that is involved with it, and I will just look at Doppelon.
Doppelon.
And just, you're gonna answer some questions.
At about this moment, the doppelganger of Ophalon is kind of shaking his head, and he looks around at everyone, and you see kind of that cocky grin that you've seen the real Ophalon get, pulls up, and he says, oh, so this is what we're dealing with. Fun. And much like the other, he just becomes a shadow flat to the ground. You see the Lady Caradwin like stretch out her hand and attempt a spell, but it ricochets off of the shadow on the ground. She looks concerned by that, but the empty manacles now just clang onto the ground in between all of you.
I need to do some device cleanup before I have to go back to school. My fucking leave better be approved.
How did my persuading the lady go, Kyle?
She's not aggravated towards any of you, it doesn't seem.
Cool.
So
I would just like to clarify that those were not her friends. They have the faces of her friends. They are not her friends.
Oh no, very clearly not. They're changelings.
Changelings.
Is that what they are?
Yes, very much.
What is that?
Attempted to turn the satyr into a into a chicken, and it did not work. My magic was rebuked by the very nature of the shape changer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, perhaps the three of you could enlighten me as to how you've gotten involved with shape changers.
They kidnapped our friends, I think.
Yeah, we have really no clue what really there.
Ewan saw them
They're
murder
wrong.
someone.
Oh, well, there is that.
You must be referring to the guard that was found.
Yes.
Well, I think it's best that the three of you accompany me. We have certainly some questions that need to be answered. And, well, and you see she just kind of waves her hand, and the cauldron turns her, goes out in front of her as she gestures for the rest of you to follow her through the maze. She says, I'm not the only one that will have questions, but I will be the first you'll be speaking to. And she just turns and starts to walk back through the hedge maze. I just want something mellow right now, y'all. There we go.
Let's see if we can get this one to lay down. I'll be right back as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's always just when I'm about to switch to Juniper and Ophalon.
Would you rather I stop in the middle?
I would rather you do what you gotta do, bud.
Gonna take a little 10-minute.
Do we want
lead
to?
break?
Do we want to take a quick break?
We can take a quick break. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Let
I will
your
pause.
computer restart and stuff. So.
I will pause. We are good to go, boss man.
All right. As the three companions of Kyra, Ewan, and Omenda follow Lady Caradwin through the hedge maze into the castle, we leave this place and go somewhere far more dark and gloomy. Where
Should I mark having had a long rest?
yes, you Ophalon and Juniper, go ahead and take long rests on your character sheets. That way you're reset. Because we return now to the actual Ophalon and Juniper, who are currently suspended high above in a dark cave or chasm somewhere, stuck to large spider webs that seem to fill this space. You can still hear and sort of sense the presence of the spider-like entity far above. You hear the sound of snipping of scissors. But all is quiet. It's been about 25 or so minutes since last we checked in on these two here. 25 minutes ago, Juniper allowed her ring to fall from her hand. What are the two of you doing while you are trapped here? Are you having any conversations with each other? Anything going on that front?
Jennifer's probably just making small talk with Ophalon because she's bored. But she's also in the back of her head just kind of ticking down the minutes, waiting for the 30-minute mark.
For sure. Anything from Ophalon?
Yeah, pretty much just like waiting and occasionally attempting to strain against his restraints to escape.
Yeah, and you do strain against them, and every once in a while you hear a noise
So
from
I'm doing this with this.
Yeah. Every once in a while you hear a sound from above of a start from the creature that is keeping you hostage, but then a soft chuckle as it realizes you're not loose, you're just doing stuff that's fussing with the web. The two of you are here, Ophalon, for all intents and purposes, upside down from Juniper's position. And Juniper, I want you to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That is a 16.
16. As you are hanging here from from these webs, you catch sight of something in the darkness with your dark vision, just a little fluttering of wings, and perched a little ways away on a rock face, not in any webs, is a crow. And it's just looking at you, and it's cocking its head back and forth.
She doesn't know what to do that isn't going to get the fucking spider's attention.
Okay. The crow just continues to stare at you.
She tries to reach out to her patron again.
You reach out to your patron, and you hear that voice that was in your head once again, but it still feels far away as you've allowed the ring to drop into the kind of abyss below you. But this voice, it's like it's ricocheting off of the crow like a transmitter and coming to your head, because you sense that that connection in that direction. And the crow looks at you, and it clacks its beak, and no words come out, but in your head you hear, "In 30 seconds, fire your magic directly below you to release you and your friend." And that's all you hear.
Alright. Juniper is going to count down 30 seconds, and then she's going to do Eldritch Blast.
Alright. As you are sitting
Cool.
there...
Telling Ovalon nothing, so he has no idea what's about to happen.
As you were sitting there counting down from 30, you hear a sound from above as long legs creep down the webbing, as if alerted by something, and this strange spider-like being with the torso of a fey woman sort of comes into view above you. It says, "What is going on down here?" She catches sight of the crow. She catches sight of the two of you. And she begins to surge forward just as the 30 seconds is up. Juniper, you fire off your Eldritch Blast. It cuts its way through the webbing by yourself and by Ophalon, allowing the two of you to swing forward. And then your weight snaps what webbing is left, as the two of you, your hands still bound in certain ways, begin to fall down into the darkness as this creature is scuttling swiftly down after you. You hear the crow begin to make a racket in the darkness as the two of you begin to fall. You fall, Juniper, and looking below you, you see a circular, like a window. You see daylight below you in a ring of thorns that is set into the ground.
Very, very breathlessly and over the rushing, I'm assuming, air, Juniper says, Ophalon, if you can, try to aim towards that. Daylight.
And for what?
Look down.
Ah!
You guys are rapidly approaching this. This creature is coming after you. You hear her saying, "No, no!" As now blasts of sticky web are landing near you as you fall, as she tries to catch you as you fall. But to no avail, as the two of you, Ophalon first, fly
Get
through this portal,
fucked!
and then Juniper, you go through, and almost unbidden, your hand that you normally wear the ring on is the last thing through, and as you pop through the portal on the other side, it closes as the ring on your finger. As the two of you shoot up from street level in a small little copse of woods, you both go up in the air about 10-15 feet and then whoom, slam into the ground hard. The two of you are each going to take 9 points of falling damage as you just slam into the ground.
Was it any way for me to tell you without letting or whatever the fuck that thing was know what was going on?
Could have said something like right before you cast a spell or some shit.
The two of you are on a forest floor. There are trees rising on either side of you. You're not in the city of Dinasundad, at least from what you can see here. Or at least no place in the city that you've been.
Juniper looks around trying to get her bearings.
Okay. Yeah, you know, you're both able to sort of stand up, and now out of that situation, you can start to get your hands and feet unbound. Looking around, you see just trees. Not a lot of bearings to be found in this particular spot. Go ahead and make a perception check, both of you.
That is a 15.
15.
I rolled an 18.
18. Ophalon, you hear the sound of running water in one direction, and that's really the only sort of clue that you have to anything else that's going on in this space. Whoops. What are you guys doing?
Where are we?
I have no idea. Juniper is looking around and tries to see if she can see any critters.
Interestingly enough, with that perception check, no. You have a sneaking suspicion that two people shooting up out of the forest floor and then slamming into the ground have scared off any little critters or birds that might have been around here. But yeah, Ophalon hears running water in one direction. Other than that, it's just kind of trees all around you.
Let's head towards the water, I guess.
Am I still, are my hands still bound?
No, we freed ourselves.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't know.
You're the one who heard the water, Ophalon.
Hey man, like, I just fell through a portal and there was a weird shit changing fucking spider centaur, which it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I'm a little frazzled.
Yeah, that's
The water's that way. You lead the way. You open the portal.
did my patron did.
If you say so. All I saw was you shoot the ground, and then a portal opened up. So
Okay.
Yeah. While they're walking, Juniper tries to connect to her patron with the very important question of where are we?
You don't get a response.
oof.
Okay.
As the two of you walk in the direction of where Ophalon heard moving water, you can see out ahead of you kind of a break in the trees, and walking up through, you step out of the tree line, and you're kind of at the top of this small rise of hills, and the water that you're hearing is actually the waves up against the shore. And maybe a mile and a half up the coast from where southward from where you are, you see the city of Dina Sundad. Bit of a walk away, but you are at least now aware of where you're at.
I guess we're walking, man.
Juniper takes a look at Ophalon and like before we get going, she gestures at like his scrapes and bruises. I'm sorry. I really did think that I could say anything out loud to warn you. Can I at least fix your wounds?
I would very much appreciate that. Thank you.
She casts Cure Wounds.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that healing.
Will that be able to be anything?
Is 12.
12. Yeah. And the two of you begin the walk towards Dina Sundad. It's going to take a little time, but the terrain in that direction isn't super difficult. As you head in that direction, both of you go ahead and make another set of perception checks for me.
13.
13?
17.
17. As the two of you walk, Juniper in the lead, a bit more distracted, just kind of determined to get back to the safety of the interior of the city. Ophalon, you track something a little bit odd, despite the sun shining in the sky as we are now approaching early afternoon on this day of Beeltena. Neither you or Juniper are casting shadows upon the ground.
That can't be good. You see that, right?
See what?
Neither of us have shadows.
Juniper looks down at the ground and goes, "Huh. No, that's probably not good."
Yeah. The two of you have this to ponder as you return towards the city. And as you make that trek, I'm going to cut back to our other three companions. Kyra, Ewan, Omenda. The Lady Caradwin leads the three of you through the hedge maze, out the other side of it, and actually continues on towards the back side of the castle. There is more garden space back here, but it's actually back here it's more of a like long flat, kind of open space garden that leads out to the edge of the cliffs that look north to the island, or into the interior of the island. You see there are gazebos and things like that back here, like outbuildings and benches and fountains. But it smells lovely. There are lilacs and other sweet scented flowers blooming all throughout this space. And the Lady Caradwin leads the three of you kind of towards a series of benches near one of these fountains that is honestly it's a fountain, but this kind of statue in the middle of it is just of this very austere looking man with his fingers together, bearing a slight resemblance to King Math the First, but enough differences to tell you this is probably an ancestor rather than him. But as she approaches, she turns and looks at the three of you and just kind of gestures to the benches as if to say, you may sit if you wish. Her little cauldron kind of floating next to her, sparking excitedly. And she looks the three of you up and down and says, well, I do believe introductions are in order. She looks at the three of you, kind of narrowing her eyes, and her eyes alight on Ewan. And she says, although I think one of you I may have met before, although perhaps not in this exact form.
Well, ma'am, I am Omanda E. Hactar. I am a journeyman amongst the seas.
A pleasure to meet you, Omenda E. Hector.
I'm Kyra, Tornthike. I'm just a hunter.
Hunter is an important occupation. She turns her eyes towards Ewan. And you, little fox?
I'm called Ewan by most folks. I'm visiting the fair city. I am an inhabitant of the wilds.
Interesting.
We kind of adopted him.
Yeah, you see, he was going to end up somebody's pet if we didn't let him give him some freedom.
You see, she turns her eyes back towards you, Amanda, and has like a curious look in them. She says, somebody's pet. She turns back and looks at you, and she says, then you're not from Eothlin.
No. I don't know what that is.
See, she just kind of says, intriguing. I wasn't aware many Eladrin lived outside of my father's domain.
I can't say I'm familiar with him. I can't say I'm familiar with the lot of you, frankly.
Interesting. Well, in that case, it is a pleasure to meet you. And just for your information, being the lineage that you are, there is a home for you in Eothlin, should ever you want it. It is a place for the original elves of this world and of the Wilderland to live together in harmony. Well, mostly in harmony.
Can I
Yes.
never mind.
Okay. Now, I, of course, am the Lady Caradwin. It is a pleasure to meet the three of you. I thank you for what you did today. It was rather clear that things were odd with that. You say that your friends were taken by people, and now there are doppelgangers. Well, there are changelings pretending to be them, and they're coming at me in hedge mazes. I would like to be informed a bit more of what is going on, because if it puts myself at risk and it puts the other denizens of this castle at risk, it is important that I get that information to the proper channels.
Well, we don't really have more information aside from that. Ewan saw the changelings stab a guard and then came and found us. And we were tracking them to see if they would lead us back to our friends. And then they attacked you and we intervened.
Out of character, that's actually not all we know. Smiley told us a lot about that fair-haired lady.
Yeah, the blue-haired she-devil.
That's true.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're connected or not.
She says, well, that is certainly troublesome. Your friends, if they have been taken by these beings, if you said that those beings were impersonating them, I have to ask, the last time you saw your companions, your real companions, if you are even aware of when that last was, were their shadows intact?
Were they?
I mean, yesterday, there wasn't anything abnormal.
But not
Yeah,
this
like,
morning when we
during
met
the
up with them.
festival was all
Not
fine.
today, no. Today you didn't notice anything until because there was just too much in the crowds.
Well, I'm for certain that yesterday we were with our friends. But I don't know whether or not the people we were with today were the doppelgangers or not.
See, she nods and she says, well, it is imperative that you find your friends then. And it is also imperative that once you find your friends, you work towards, if they are missing their shadows, you work towards getting them back. Otherwise, you will not have any friends left.
What do you mean?
What'll happen if we don't get their shadows?
That is how...
I mean, what happens if your leg falls off?
That is what happens when a changeling takes a form. They steal it from the individual by means of their shadow. And if that is not rectified, then that shadow being in such close proximity to them will... Well, your friends will become changelings. They will become part of a collective. Barely themselves anymore. They will have remnants of their own mind, but they will have a different purpose after that point.
Shit.
Very much.
Is there anything known about changelings in the area?
She just kind of smiles and shakes her head and she says, changelings are fickle and strange beings. Most of them that I have met in my lifetime don't mean much harm. They're more tricksters than anything else.
Right.
These ones that we're dealing with today seem to have a bit more of a sinister bent to them. At least that would be my observation. They did in fact try to attack me within the boundaries of a castle where I am a protected diplomat. So they are certainly, well, they took disguises to try their hand at this, but that they're
Right.
still rather brazen with what they're doing.
Right. You and your cohort wouldn't happen to have any enemies, would you, that would want to see y'all fall at any time?
She looks at you and she says, I'm sure there are those that would like to see myself or my sister gone. I'm sure that is a thing, but I could not name anyone specific. At least no one that is commonly seen in the world.
Right.
But it might well just have been that these folks were trying to get into the castle and I just happened to be in the way and they didn't know that you were there spying on them. Which is commendable. It's well done to you. Although I am a bit worried now about the security of the castle grounds, and I will be having to have a chat with the castle guard, as well as perhaps the king about magical enchantments to keep these grounds a bit more safe. Do you have any idea what they might have been looking for around here?
I mean, the only thing that really comes to mind is that really fancy scroll. And I pointedly look at Ewan. No.
She clocks that. She clocks that and it's like, alright.
Didn't was I the one who managed to eavesdrop on them, or did we all learn that they were looking for Caradwin? Like specifically, they were looking for someone more powerful.
You guys all heard that they were like, didn't necessarily sound like that was the primary goal of their mission, but it did sound like if they found somebody more powerful, they might try to use that as a...
I misinterpreted.
Yeah. You see Lady Caradwin just kind of nods and she says, well, I'm surprised that anyone would attempt to make a move on the scroll that fast, but there's no point. It's quite well protected, and I believe the only folks that can get to where it is being held are, well, it certainly isn't the majority of the population of this castle. The king will be the only one that is able to get in there. So,
Maybe something else then.
Perhaps. Well, you see, she kind of looks at the cauldron, which sparks a little bit. She smiles and she says, I think that perhaps it is best if the three of you, I will escort you out of the grounds. The information that you have given me is useful, and I will spread it to the king and to the city guard, the castle guards, and we don't have to have an interrogation today from anyone a bit less understanding of the situation.
There is something else that's a little strange that's going on. We've been tracking a individual that is elven that has stolen and also sold very priceless items, and that's just another thing that's going on. I don't think it's connected to what's going on right now, but
Yes.
it might be something to keep an eye on.
And as you kind of talk about it, I'll pull out the like wanted poster that they put up in front of their door.
The three of you go ahead and make insight checks for me.
Insight checks. Insight checks.
Hey, I'm like not bad at those. That is 12.
17.
11.
Omenda and Ewan, you don't clock this, but Kyra, she has a, like, her eyes narrow when she looks at that wanted poster. And she looks at it and says, "How do you know this individual?"
Well, first thing that happened was I and my friend Juniper, we saw her playing a flute out in the wilds on our way here, and we didn't interact with her then. And then we got into the city and we were told that she gave an old lady eggs that hatched and also stole from Smiley.
Yeah, like she stole like 2,000 gold's worth of gems, seven different types of gems, egg-shaped opals and such. I believe they're meant to hold things. I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You see, she nods a bit. She says, "Huh. Still up to her old tricks then. I'm sorry, my dears, to say that you have found yourselves, or at least your friends have found yourselves, in a bit more of an issue than we thought.
What do you mean?
I think it's best if right now, before we continue this conversation, I am going to send people to try to find your friends wherever they may be. I will have the city guard on watch to bring them to the castle as soon as they are seen. But for now, the three of you, please follow me. We need to be having this conversation in a bit more private of a space." She is going to stand and begin walking towards the stairs that lead up into the back side of the castle here.
She's some kind of wanted person, miss?
Caradwin stops and turns, and you actually see...
Obviously, they got a wanted poster.
Yeah. You see she stops and she looks back at you, and you see the magic in the cauldron is kind of dimmed at the moment. And she looks back and she says, "Very much so. Very much so. But it is not safe to talk about such things here. Inside the castle, please." You see,
will follow her
as she leads you up, you see she has a brief conversation with a couple of the guards here, and begins to kind of send them off to keep an eye out, get the word out to search the festivities, but also to ensure that if Ophalon and Juniper are seen, that they are brought to the castle. she brings the three of you into the Great Hall here. You see a simple throne that is kind of formed from wood that has been grown up into the shape of a great chair. You see long tables that have been kind of begun to be set up here because there is a feast that is being planned here within this castle at the moment. There are castle staff everywhere, but Caradwin sort of leads the three of you through, and there's sort of this like veil of shadow around the three of you as she is walking through the castle with you. And though she occasionally stops and has conversations with the staff, it seems that their eyes just pass over the three of you. As if you're kind of blurred from their sight at the moment. She leads you out and behind, eventually arriving to a sort of small room that is clearly like a guest chamber for visiting nobility. And there are only a few things that have been set up. You see a little stack of books in a corner on a desk and a simple, well-made bed, as well as a trunk with some clothes in it. This looks to be the Lady Caradwin's private chambers. And as she steps inside, you see her eyes kind of glow briefly as she sends a couple her eyes glow and she like mutters under her breath, and she does that a couple of times before she closes the door, passes her hand over it, and you feel, all of three of you feel the silence. There is no longer any sound from outside the room. It's now everything is inside the room. And she says, "My sister is going to be here soon. The king may also be joining us, but he is very busy, so he may not come. But it is imperative that you know what it is you are dealing with. That woman," and she points to Amenda, to the wanted poster that you have.
Right.
"Goes by many names, but most commonly she is referred to as Nil.
Yes, I believe that's what I was told.
She is quite famous, not in Eothlin, where my father rules directly, but in the sister city that the Wood Elves have built just across the river, the city of Aphanaith.
All right.
She made a bit of a name for herself as a bandit, but she very rarely hurt anyone. She was just very good at swindling people out of gold. And over several years, she acquired quite a bit. One day, she disappeared. And a year later came back. We all thought she was up to her old tricks again, but something was different. Rumors of an organization calling themselves the Court of Whispers. Once she was elven, but no more. I do not know what happened to her, but she had her shadow taken. And she has become a changeling of this coven, of this court of shadows. She seems to be a face for them, if not a leader. I wish I could tell you I know what they want, but I don't. We could never really quite figure it out.
Well, I don't think it's anything good if they're looking for gems that can hold creatures inside of them.
No, I would not assume so. And if your friends have been taken by this cult, let's call it that, then they are in very real danger. As I said, and I'm sorry to say it again, but by the time you find them again, they may no longer be your friends.
Well, let's hope we find him before any of that comes to fruition, huh? Don't want to lose any more family.
Certainly. And actually, I honestly was a bit shaken by everything that happened there. Do any of you have a visual representation of one of your companions?
I might, and I will start thumbing through my journal, skimming through pages and, pull up a sketch of, Ophalon and Juniper, covering one half of the page with her hand.
Go ahead and make for me a, just make me a sleight of hand check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Your drawing is very good. And she looks them up and down, and she says, and please tell me your friends' names.
Juniper, Hawthorne, and Ophalon.
She nods and she says, let me see if I cannot find them for you. And she stretches out her hand, and the cauldron hovers, and it grows in size underneath her hand, and the silvery liquid magic within begins to swirl until it becomes like a vortex spiraling down. And Lady Caradwin is going to attempt a scry.
Maybe.
Guys, Travis, you look so cute with the Bible.
Mom. Let's see. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do.
Farts followed by.
Dude, farts feel weird when you're a kid. Let's be honest.
Remember, she can feel all of her digestive system work.
That's most of what crying is for the first few months, honestly.
I just want
can I have Ophalon go ahead and make for me a wisdom saving throw? It is against a magical effect.
Ophalon Pathalmor.
Said wisdom.
Wisdom.
19.
19.
Ophalon just rolling high on his wisdom save with no modifier.
Yeah. You see Lady Caradwin kind of spinning her hand around it, and an image starts to appear before the kind of vortex in the cauldron ceases. And you see she gets a concerned look on her face. She says, let me try one more time. And she begins the spell again. Juniper, go ahead and make for me a wisdom saving throw.
Did I fail it on purpose?
You don't know what's happening.
Oh, that's fair.
9.
It's kind of just a thing that happens on the back end. This time, the liquid begins to solidify into an image as Caradwin's eyes glow with that same kind of similar silvery magic. And she says, look close. I think I can see them. And the three of you gathered around this cauldron can gaze into it and see an image of what the Lady Caradwin is seeing. As she looks and sees a shock of red hair of a bruised and rather bedraggled looking Juniper walking along the rocky coastline with a shaggy haired kind of armored individual walking just behind her. Well, they are alive. And you see she tries to kind of change the direction that the scry is looking in, and she's struggling with that. But she says, they are along the coast, and if they are traveling in that direction, they must be heading towards the city. A few seconds goes by, and she can no longer hold concentration, and the image begins to disappear as her eyes return to normal. She says, right, I'm going to send a few messages to those that I have looking for your friends to have them look out towards the coast. The three of you, please wait here. Please leave my belongings be. I'm trusting you with this. I will be back shortly. And she is going to rise and step out of the room.
Please don't steal any of my shit. I'll know, probably.
Yes, you would.
Well, now, once she's gone, Ewan will just really softly say, we should see if we can read anything.
Yeah, we should definitely say if there's any kind of hidden correspondence, but don't touch anything.
Kyra, can we take our first reading lesson?
You want to learn how to read now?
I was gonna say, hey, I know how to read.
Oh,
Don't talking about me.
Right, okay. I will teach you how to read. I will take out I will rip out a page of, like, a blank page in my journal, and I will write down the ABCs in giant, and I will sit next to Ewan, and I will be like, alright, we're gonna start with the basics. I'm going to teach you a song, and you're going to echo it to me, and this will be how you start to learn to read, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so, how does it... I actually want to know what the, like... Hold, please.
Giant alphabet.
I'm, for real, my man, I will not parrot the ABCs to you right now in this session.
That's okay, because as this, in fact, very silly event happens in the room of a godling, I'm going to cut away to Juniper and Ophalon, who, making your way along the rocky coastline, you are approaching the city You see it rising above you. You know that you're going to have to like walk around the coast until you get to the docks, and then you're going to have to ascend on the road that goes up. You got still a distance to go. It's not going to be it's going to be walking you for a while. But you are approaching the city. Nothing kind of adverse is out here. Nothing blocking your way. It's a nice day. And there is definitely the still like, even from this distance, even this far below it, you can still smell the festival on the air, food and fires, as we approach, kind of early to mid-afternoon. The bonfires that are going to be lit well into the night are already starting to be lit in some portions of the city.
Oh God, I'm so hungry.
Yes, Juniper.
This is taking forever. And Juniper casts Longstrider on herself and Opalon, burning 2 of her spell slots.
Yeah, absolutely. Raise your guys' speed by 10. And you guys can kind of click along a little bit faster. About, we'll say, 15 to 20 minutes later, as you guys are approaching the bottom of the cliffs and beginning to head around towards the docks, you hear a voice. You hear, "It's them! I see them!" And up ahead of you, around, you see a contingent of guards, kind of with this silvery armor and these green cloaks and sashes across their chests, and you see one of them pointing towards the 2 of you.
Hey, you guys!
Oh goodness! The 2 of you make your presence known, and about truly 5 or 6 city guard kind of come around and see the 3 of you, or the 2 of you, and say, wonderful. We're sent by the Lady Caradwin to locate the 2 of you. And you see they're just kind of confused. They've been given orders. They found who they're looking for. Says, please follow us. We must return to the castle. And for the purposes of tonight, I'm going to end our session. Just because the 2 of you are going to be led back up into the castle, and we're going to say that how we're going to end tonight is with the real Ophalon and Juniper being brought into the castle, being brought to the door of some chambers, and the door is opened, and inside are Kyra, Ophalon, or Kyra, Omenda, and Ewan. Kyra has a notepad and a series of runes written on it. Ewan is staring at the symbols on it, possibly pretending as if he kind of knows what's going on. But the 5 of you take a moment, look at each other, and are reunited.
Juniper exclaims, "Oh, thank Christ."
What the fuck is that?
Not in this world.
Fair.
Very much
frog
not.
hop drop
Okay,
kicks.
fine. Oh, thank gods.
Yeah,
She looks dead at Kyra. We had one awful fucking day.
Yeah, your doppelganger was a bitch.
Yeah, we had to kill you.
My what now?
We can talk about this later. Can we get some food, please? I have not eaten all day.
Oh yeah, let's go eat. Let's go.
And yeah, the 5 of you being reunited, we will turn to this story at next time as the Lady Caradwin returns with her sister, Lady Rhiannon. And that's where we're stopping for today.
Okay, cool. Giant ring portal is not what I was expecting.
Ringu.